Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be with you again. And I am just overjoyed to be bringing you the message of beyond gratitude to celebration. Now, I grew up with hearing gratitude, and I've been getting a lot of downloads and things within my consciousness to change up words because we're moving into an age where this new generation wants a new jolt of spirituality, and they need words that really resonate with them. And so what really resonates is celebration. So I want to break that down for you today, why we're moving past gratitude into celebration. And I want it to really make sense to you. And in order to do that, I'm going to break it down as far as frequency, vibration, and tonality. So when I spoke the last time, I talked about Nikola Tesla, who was a really wonderful inventor who talked about getting downloads from the universe, and he would have these brilliant ideas. And so, what he talked about was if you want to understand the universe, you need to understand energy, frequency, and vibration. And so, we are energetic beings. You know this because you've heard of chakras. And chakras are the energy centers of the body, and we have 7 of them. And you can go online and learn all you want about chakras. I learned through energizing my body. Now, if you've ever taken Tai Chi or Qi Kong, you know that there is energy, and you can feel this energy if you become acquainted with it through practice. So I started doing Tai Chi and Qigong, and I remember the teacher was saying you're going to feel something when you put your hands together, and you can close your eyes and you can kind of feel this tension going back and forth with your hands. And what they said is that is your Qi energy. That is your body's energy. It goes with your blood flow, with the chakras. All of it is energy. And as you become familiar, you become more aware of this energy that you can feel. And so we are energy centers. That means that when we walk into a room, we're bringing our energy with us. So if we have a fearful energy, that has a frequency. If you have a joyful energy, that has a frequency. And when you have intuition and you're a sensitive person, you can feel another person's energy. This is amazing because we're not really taught this in school. We learn this through our spirituality and our experience, and also through being an empath where you can pick up on other people's emotions even before they've said a word. Now, women especially are attuned to this because we have children that we can tell when something is wrong with our children. They don't have to tell us. We have this mommy sense, this spidey sense, if you will, where it's like, okay, there's something going on. I may not know the details, but I'm getting a feeling that there's something going on. And we can do that with our kids. We can do that with our spouses. We can do that with our best friends. Let's take it a step further. When the world is in chaos, and there's a lot of fear-based talk going on in the media, going on with our neighbors, we can feel that energy. And we can begin to feel anxious. And we look at our lives and we go, you know, my life is pretty good, but why am I feeling anxious? Because we're picking up on the vibration and the energy that is all around us. Now, this can hinder our sleep patterns. It can hinder our communication. We can shut down. It can hinder a lot of aspects of our life, and it has nothing to do with our own frequency. It has to do with the larger global frequency, and we've let it in and affected us. We know this is true. We know this is happening. As a mental health therapist, I've seen a lot of people that come into therapy because of sleep issues, because of anxiety, because of shutting down emotionally, because of depression and anxiety. And I want to let you know that just like that energy can affect us, there's another energy that is stronger, very potent, and it comes from gratitude. Who knew? There are studies that show that if you have a regular gratitude practice, you sleep better at night. You're able to overcome a lot of these anxious feelings that are coming at you. You're able to block it or shield yourself because you know the truth. And the truth is that life is good, that the kingdom of heaven is at hand right now. That's what Jesus said. But a lot of people couldn't see it because they were in the frequency of fear. When you're in the frequency of fear, you are blocking or shielding yourself from what is actually the truth, which is life is good. Life is love. Love is all there is. Heaven is here at hand. So I'd like to give you some steps and practices that can help you get to this other frequency, which is in gratitude and celebration. So I call this the 4 strands of gratitude. And this is something that you can practice. You can write it down, or you can go on YouTube later and really get a sense of this practice. Make it your own. So the 4 strands of gratitude, think of it as a rope, because when you wrap all of these strands together, it becomes very strong, and it is a crucial part of your spirituality, a crucial part of your mental health, because I don't separate the two. Spirituality is good mental health. So this is something that will strengthen you, especially during these times and beyond. And when you practice it over a long period of time, you become like the Christ consciousness. You become like the Jesus walking in a chaotic time, yet not being in that chaos. So the first strand of gratitude is something that regular people do. We'll call them muggles, which is from Harry Potter. This is what mortals do. They will wait till Thanksgiving, which is this month, and they will get some family and maybe some friends together, and they will maybe go around the room and say, what are you thankful for? Or maybe they'll just have this prayer at dinner with the turkey and say, oh, thank you for Thanksgiving. That's what mortals do. I want you to take it a step further, because mortals will wait for one day out of the year, but I want you every day to see something around you and give thanks for it. So you can say, I'm thankful for my family. Now this doesn't happen once a year, this happens every day. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my home. If I'm living in a home, I'm thankful for the shelter over my head. So you're taking it a step further, but you're still being human, because humans will look around them with their eyes and they will say, okay, I'm thankful for my computer. That's fine. That's step 1. There's another part to step 1 that takes it up a notch. And that's when you're thankful for things that you can't see. I'm thankful for my safety. This is very crucial, because sometimes people will watch the news or listen to a neighbor, or even look at that next door app where somebody is just fearful and they put a lot of fearful things on that app about watch out for this, and you're living right next door or in the same neighborhood. So there are a lot of things you'll notice that are fear-based. But I want you to be grateful for what? Your safety. Because you're safe. regardless of what's on the news. Right now, you are safe. Isn't that wonderful? And we need to anchor that with what? Gratitude. So be grateful for things you can't see. I can't see my kidneys, but my kidneys are great right now. I can't see my spleen, but my spleen is doing what spleens do. I'm so grateful for that. So take it up a notch. What you'll notice that you're doing is you've taken it out of your eyesight and you're starting to be grateful for things that you cannot see. And that is awesome. Have a daily practice of that. Here's the next thing. We're on to number 2, the second strand, because remember that first strand had 2 parts. You're going up a notch. So number 2 is you are actively looking for things to be grateful for. Actively looking. That means that you have an assignment. You are on an adventure because you're going to be looking for things. Now, this is great because you are going outside of your house sometimes, and you can be just going on a walk. And if you've ever seen a flower sticking out of concrete, I stop and I go, what is that? You are blooming, even though it's hard to bloom and where I'm just like, that is so cool. And I'll take a picture of it. I'll send it to somebody. I'm the person on Facebook that takes a picture of their coffee when it has a little heart on it. And I'm just like, how cute is that? Let me put it next to this and I'll take a picture and send it to my sister in New York. So I'm just like, there's so many things that we experience that are so cute, wonderful, and I'm just grateful that it crossed my path in my regular, everyday life. So actively looking for things to be grateful for. I remember I was walking the other day and there were 5 puppies in a baby basket, just being pushed along. I was like, I got to get a picture of that. That's the cutest thing I've seen all day. I'm so grateful for that. Do you see how I've opened up some chakras just talking about it? I'm reliving the cuteness. I'm reliving the good. This is what our body is capable of. This is a huge amount of energy that people harness in Tai Chi. They're harnessing that energy. They're creating it and making it bigger within their body. And gratitude does that. So I'm opening up chakras, I'm reliving it, I'm sharing it with other people. But what is it? I'm doing a gratitude practice as a way of life. This, as you can see, separates me from humans. I'm going above human now. We're on to one of the most important strands of gratitude. Are you ready? You need to be sitting for this one because this is a big one. Grateful for your past. Now, this is a real big one for a lot of people, especially those who have experienced trauma, who have experienced loss. And this takes you to a whole new level because you are now have a mission of looking for the good. Looking for the good in your past. And I know some people hold on to the pain. I know that because I'm a mental health therapist and I've been one for over 25 years. And there are a lot of people that think, well, I have to mourn that other person for 10 years, even though they've been gone for 10 years. Because if I didn't, that means that I didn't love them. And they get it twisted. and their life becomes twisted. And trauma is stored in your body. It blocks your chi energy. It blocks your love energy. It blocks your gratitude. You don't need to hold on to that. I know that when people pass, cross over to the other side, however you want to put it, they want your good. They want your best version every day. They want you to be in gratitude because that's the frequency of God. And that's where abundance comes from. It doesn't come from fear, loss, limitation, woe is me, victimization. So they're giving you permission to be free of that. So look at your past. Find the good. Now, I am saying that based on my past, where I did a workshop one time and I was like, I think I could beat everybody in this room as far as trauma. And so, but we're not going to have a competition. Just trust me on that. Because I can go down that road of, oh, this happened to me and this happened to me. But you see, when I healed that stuff and became grateful, guess what happened? My story changed. I didn't have that, that whoa, oh, that whole thing, because I wasn't looking for sympathy. I want to be the best version. I want to be the Christ consciousness, and I can't do that still being a victim. I can talk it and still be a victim, but there's no power in that. So I have to embody the power, the joy of the Christ consciousness. And I can't do that still holding on to my victim story. So I had to change that around. So I'll give you an example. I had a divorce when I was, my son was, I think he was 6 months old, and my son is now 28. And so when he was 6 months old, the police came to the house, and my husband had gotten a restraining order. So I was told to leave the house with my 2-month-old. And I couldn't come within 500 feet. So he had gone to an attorney, and the attorney told him, possession is was it 9/10 of the law, so you can have the house as long as she's out of the house. So people, when they're desperate and want to hold on to things and are connected to their ego, they'll do whatever it takes sometimes. So so I was homeless, and I was 2 months old, and I stayed in a shelter, a homeless shelter, for a while before I got back on my feet. So that's like the victim story. And people go, oh my God, that was horrible. But let me tell you the good. Because I am standing in my power today, knowing that nothing can bring me down. Do you think I'm afraid of being homeless? No. Do you think I'm afraid of not having money? No, done that, been there. I've been through some really wild stuff. And it's made me very empathic to other people that are going through it. But guess what? My energy tells them that you're going through it. You're not staying there. My energy doesn't feed into the victimization because I know who they are. And I am there as an example of the Christ consciousness that says you can do it. How do I know? I'm living proof. And isn't that what Jesus did? He's like, yeah, you don't need to stay in this crazy thought process. You can overcome that. You can be in the world, but you're not of the world. What's in you is powerful. So I don't stay in lack limitation with my clients. I hear it, I understand it, but that's not where you're staying. There's no power there. So as you start working these 3, 4 strands of gratitude, you get to that third strand and you find good in your past. You change your story. I don't care what it is. Well, Karmen, you don't know. I understand. You can get hooked and addicted to that victim story. The world will tell you that it's fine. Keep your victim story. But the world doesn't want you to have power, and I do. And the people that will hold on to their victim story thinking that that's who they are, they're mistaken. It's not who you are. You're powerful beyond measure. And power means that you can affect change, not only in your life, but by being the energetic example of wholeness, not by talking it, not by saying all is well, meanwhile your life is falling apart. That's not what I'm talking about. You're the embodiment of wholeness, the Christ consciousness. It goes beyond words. This is how you open your chakras, your energy, and you become grateful by telling your story, which is of power and not of victimization. Now we're ready to move on to the last strand. And this is where celebration comes in. But before we get to celebration, I want to make this point because I looked up the definition of gratitude. Because like I said, we need to look at these words that we use all the time, because this generation needs to know, well, what do you mean when you say gratitude? And gratitude is an action that is taken as a response to kindness. Now, I kind of knew that, but I didn't know that. And when I read that, it hit me really emotionally. I got a little teary because this is where I went with it. If I'm grateful for my life, it's a response to kindness. Well, who's being kind? It is that one that is within me and within all things. Oh my goodness, it's like writing a thank you note to the universe. And then in response, what's the universe going to do? It's going to give me more things to be grateful for. I see it as this loop. It's a conversation with God. I had never thought of it like that before. Just imagine a circle. I'm giving thanks, writing a thank you note as a response to kindness. And then the universe is writing a thank you note as a response to kindness to me. It's like then I'm grateful, and then I'm writing a thank you note, and then it's coming back and it's writing a thank you note. It's this beautiful dance. And I see it showing up in my life, and I just had not really thought about it that way. And I want you to think about gratitude as a way of, I'm just so grateful. I'm writing this thank you note. And what I'm getting back is the universe saying, oh, that's so sweet of you to notice that flower. Here's some more stuff. Because how many people just walk by things all the time? And the universe is just waiting for, a sunset can just blow your mind, and people are just running around and they never notice it. And then when somebody does, it's like, oh, you noticed that. Oh, let me give you some more of this. And just waiting for us to acknowledge the good. Yeah, That's awesome. So, the fourth strand of gratitude is actually affirmative prayer. So, the fourth strand, it's like if there's an illness, you celebrate the healing before you have medical acknowledgement that it is healed. So this is just so powerful. Because I grew up in a church where you kind of begged, you pleaded, you asked really hard for things to happen. And it was based on God being up in the clouds somewhere and not around you and in you and through you and in this frequency of gratitude. So I do want you to see this as a frequency, and maybe this will make sense as I explain it a little further. It's when I'm driving from Arizona to Las Vegas, you know it can be rocky, and I got the radio station tuned to a certain station. But I can go up a hill or up elevation and lose that radio station completely. And sometimes it's blank, and other times it will switch to something totally different. So if you see this as a frequency, you're living, breathing, having your being in the frequency of gratitude. You're having a conversation with the universe, like we talked about. So the fourth strand of gratitude is that you are solid in that frequency. You are in that station. You're not going back and forth to fear and all of that. You're on the station of gratitude, having that conversation. And when there is an illness, you say, thank you for the healing. That's affirmative prayer. What are you doing? You are manifesting. So when I grew up, people talked about faith. And I never really got what faith was because, once again, they were begging, pleading, waiting for something outside of themselves to happen. What I'm telling you is, oh my gosh, that as you raise your frequency and your energy and you are in that frequency of gratitude, you call forth what it is. You call forth. Now, is there any victimization in that? Not at all. You can't do it with victimization and loss energy. It's impossible. But with God, all things are possible. And God is in the frequency of gratitude, and you celebrate. You celebrate the thing that you can't see yet, the thing that has not been confirmed by medical science, the thing that has not been confirmed by politics, the thing that has not been confirmed by any other thing. You're calling it forth with the energy that you created through your practice of gratitude, with your practice of communicating with the divine, which is in you, which is a conversation, which is you bringing forth that into material world, into the material world, out of the ether into the material. Some people call this miracles. Other people, like I was talking to an elder monk, and I said, so is that a miracle? And he said, it's technology. I don't look at my iPhone and go, it's a miracle. So why do we look at the human body, the Word made flesh, when it manifests things that are in wholeness, like it is conditioned to be, why do we call that miracle when it's actually the way we were created? We are made in the image, in the likeness of God. That means that we can affirm wellness, wholeness. We are energetic beings working with a frequency that brings forth everything that we are, and that is health, wellness, and fearlessness. And most of all, power, because power affects change. Let's take a deep breath. So these are the 4 strands of gratitude. I'd like to give you another example of celebration. And the meaning of celebration is to take a special occasion and make it enjoyable. That's according to the definition of celebration. And oftentimes we equate celebration with a holiday. Somebody graduates from college or high school and we have a celebration, or maybe it's a birthday. But I would like to offer you a different way of looking at celebration. So in January, I was called to go to Sedona. Not to go to Sedona, to move to Sedona. That's a big difference. So by February, I had found a place. By the end of February, I had moved to Sedona. So definitely a calling, an urge, just every part of my being was saying to go there. So I go there and I'm decorating the patio, and I got balloons. I got, I went to the dollar store and just went a little crazy with just streamers and everything. And I put it up on my patio with a staple gun. What was I doing? I was celebrating the new earth, because there's something being birthed as the old is tearing down. People talked about the new normal. And I'm like, I'd like to go to a place that hasn't been yet. I'm ready to create something that is awesome. I don't mind if the old goes away. I want there to be a birthing of equality, oneness, love, compassion. That's what I want. So I'm celebrating that now. I affirm it now. I'm in Sedona celebrating. And then when I meet new people, they're like, oh, why did you move here? I'm celebrating. They're like, what is she? Well, I'm in Sedona, so a lot of people don't ask me, like, what are you celebrating? They kind of already know. But the explanation is, I'm not waiting around for people to figure stuff out and people to share some more fear ideas. I'm celebrating everything that I've accumulated and have nurtured within myself. That's what I want more of. So I affirm it. Oh, the world is going to heck in a handbag. Oh, no, baby. Not in my world. I can't create something that's not even a part of me. That doesn't even resonate on my frequency. I'm on a different frequency, baby. And everyone is welcome to join me. I'm not alone, as John Lennon said. Some people may call me a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. We need to know that we are powerful beings. We can energetically rise to the occasion. And the occasion is now, and the occasion needs to be celebrated. That's how you bring it forth. So let's take a deep breath. And let's anchor this. Let's close our eyes, and we know that affirmative prayer is when we call forth out of the ether everything that we're vibrating with. Our energy is awake to the possibilities. And so we want to create from that space of knowing. And we know that there is a frequency of love that is in us, around us. We can't help but be in it. Whether we're awake to it or not, that may be a question, but there is no question that it is here. It is now. And this is the birthing place, the womb of what we want to create. When I speak the words, I know that what comes forth is everything within me. And so when love is in me, and I see everyone as a child of God, I'm grateful. I am thankful. When I know that I have compassion for myself and the past, and I've changed my story, I know that I can only bring forth abundance, wellness, wholeness, vitality, because that's how I've changed my story. I can only bring forth what I have cultivated within myself. When I see myself with kindness, and I affirm kindness onto the world, I am bringing forth what I have cultivated within myself, that we are all one. I am having a conversation with the universe. When I heal myself, I also heal the world. When I understand myself, I understand people. When I love myself, I know that I can bring forth a love that is life-changing because it has changed me. I am just so grateful for the opportunity to be on this planet right now, because the mission is so clear. It is not convoluted. It is not confusing. It is to bring forth what is our birthright, our mission, our calling, and our DNA. We are here to bring the new earth. And that requires us to bring it within ourselves first. Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you so much. That is why we're here. And that is why we say the sacred yes. Yes, I will go. Yes, I will do. Yes, I will be. Yes, I am here. Thank you. And so it is.
So it